Hi everyone, I'm V with Passions and Distractions, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own rice bag. So to start, you're going to need a piece of cotton fabric that has been washed and ironed. Next, you're going to need a square template of some kind. Now I'm using an actual quilting square, and this one is 6 by 6, so it's going to make a pretty substantial sized rice bag. It's actually going to be really great for heating pad or whatever. But if you're looking to make something smaller like hand warmers, then you're going to want to adjust your size down. Now, like I said, mine is an actual quilting grid. You know, if you have one of these, you probably already know how to use it, so I don't have to explain it. If you don't have one of these, there is nothing wrong with going ahead and cutting like a template out of cardboard or something. So it's just down to the size that you want, 3 by 3, whatever. Or you can also just trace a square onto the fabric. Now what I'm gonna do is I've put my quilting square down. I'm just gonna grab my rotary cutter and I am going to very carefully cut around this as soon as I move my chair. So I'm just going to line that up over here and lock my rotary cutter into place. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut a square right here on the mat. So be sure that you're cutting on like a self-healing mat or something like that. There we go. And of course, you're going to want to cut two. Now, this is cotton fabric. You don't want to use polyester because this is something that's going to go in the microwave. And polyester will melt. Oh, didn't totally get that square there. Let's just nudge that real quick. There we go. And there you have one square. I'm cutting the other one just out of the same size fabric or same color. You can do a different one if you want. You can do a backing that is a different color. I just happen to really like this and think it looks cute. So you're just going to do that same thing again. Just one square. Cut out real carefully. And there you have it. So probably could have ironed this a little bit smoother, but hey, you never know, right? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the two pieces of fabric and I'm just going to put them back to back. So you want the good side of the design facing out. Now I'm not too worried about them being perfectly square, and you'll see why later. I'm also not going to get particularly crazy about pinning it. You know, if I were making an article of clothing, a piece that really required some precision, I would get stressed out about this, but I'm not. I'm making a rice pack. It's going to be fun, it's going to be easy, and I just want to keep it that way. So what I'm doing is I'm just going through and I'm pinning just the four corners just to keep everything kind of on track. And there you have it. All right, time to sew these together. Okay, so as you can see, I have this all set up on my sewing machine now. So I have this at a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I want to be sure that I have some wiggle room because I'm going to go back and I'm going to trim this with pinking shears so the fabric doesn't really ravel that much. You do want to sew down 3 sides and then leave the 4th side open to pour in your rice. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Now I think because of the angle and because I can't really see that well because of how my phone is positioned, I won't be showing you the actual sewing process. But you know what? You understand how a sewing machine works. And if you don't, my video wasn't going to explain it anyway. See you in a minute. Okay, so as you can see, I did sew up 3 of my sides. Now I just did one straight stitch, the start and end of each one. I did just a little reverse stitching over to basically lock it in place. Like I said, we're just keeping this super simple. It's a very functional item, and even as a gift, it's okay for it to be simple. So now I've got one side left open. Ta-da! Forming a little pocket. And now all I have to do is pour in my rice. Now for a bag this size, I found that the best size to use, or the best amount of rice, was about a cup. Now you can also add some essential oils or things like that. I didn't, but that's definitely an option for you. So you put in a cup, and then let me show you real quick, like kind of pinched off. That's going to be what you have left. It's going to be kind of plumpy. You want to have a little wiggle room, but you don't want it to be just overly full. Well, I better stop playing around with it before I start spilling more rice grains everywhere. All right, so now we've gotten that last side sewn up, and I just want to remind you that that side is going to be your most challenging because you're going to have a pillow full of rice, so it's going to want to kind of slide off your machine, and also you want to make sure that all of the grains are staying away from where your sewing needle is going up and down, just because otherwise you stand a really good chance of breaking your needle. I did not, but it's something that crossed my mind while I was doing it because rice grains can be hard. So now that you've done that, it's really, really simple to finish this off. All you want to do is grab your pinking shears and start trimming down the side on the outside of the stitches. Pick what you're going to let your guideline be. So I'm running the edge of my scissors along the edge of the fabric, so I stand a pretty good chance of getting an even shear. Also, you're going to want to try to line up your triangles as much as possible, just to make sure that your teeth are nice and neat. But once again, it's a functional item. You don't nail this, that is okay. But you don't need to watch all of this. And now that I have all that trimmed, there you have it. Nice finished rice bag. It's got some good heft to it, and I can pop that in the microwave for about 30 seconds and have a nice moist heat. Thanks for checking this out. Leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe. Just give me all the love. If you really, really love me, go ahead and share my videos, because I would love to share what I know with more people. Meantime, I gotta trim off one more thread. Bye.